Welcome, adventurers. It's Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard, 5 p.m. on the West Coast, and we are live. And I love it being standard time, and it's going to be, and the days are getting longer. Two things I love. Today we have Bill Strand, as always, and Two Turtle Tom decided to accept my invitation to be here because Bill couldn't get on last time, and so I figured it would happen again. And now that Bill was on before I was even here. So it just doesn't make any sense, but that's okay. So we're all going to be here. We're going to be talking about the end of the year or the year in review. But first, the video. All right, welcome back, adventurers. As I said before, I'm your guide, Sean McZoo. This is the Reptile Show Reporter. Today we have both Bill Strand and Two Turtle Tom. So we have both of these teams to help me talk about the year in review. And what a year it's been.
Oh, yeah.
But first, Bill, any announcements?
Oh, I got no announcements other than I'm working on the end of year live, which is Saturday. Yeah, I go do Chameleon Chore Night on Sunday. That doesn't count, but I'm going to be doing my own end of the year review and looking to the new year on Saturday at noon on YouTube.
Okay.
Noon Pacific.
All right. So, Tom, any announcements?
Tomorrow night, Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern, I'm going to be doing a live tour during my weekly live. So I'll show you all my hingeback setups. And
I saw you had a new egg laying on Christmas, I guess.
Absolutely. Christmas night, had a tortoise laying eggs, dug them up the next day. And yeah, great way to end the year. The first
what a nice present, right? That's awesome.
Absolutely.
So. All right, speaking of presents, this week, Bill's birthday. Last year, we didn't do the show this week because it fell on his birthday. So I had to mark it down. So Bill's birthday, I believe, is the 29th. And he'll be like, I don't know, 35 years old, I guess. Yeah. Right, Bill?
Yeah, sure. Lifetime of experience.
For the 20th time, I believe. So we'll see.
Yeah, I think, let's see. So this is, what year is this? 23. So that means I'll be 55.
Mm-hmm. So you'll be 35 for the 20th time, 21st time, I guess. So that's okay. All right. So, all right. I guess, Tom, you want to sing Happy Birthday to Bill?
Oh, my goodness.
I'll sing it with you. Okay. Happy birthday
to you.
Happy birthday
to you.
Happy birthday to Bill. To Bill.
Happy birthday
to you. Yeah, that's terrible. We're not going to give up our day job. So, all right. Okay, so 22 year in, during the 22 year in review, we asked the question, will Two Turtle Tom get a chameleon? And will it be from me? And yes, to both of them. That I was 22 year in review, and Tom asked, will he get a chameleon, and will it be from me? And both of them are yes.
Woo!
So got that done. We got that. Bill started the year. I started the year alone because Bill took off to Madagascar and left me to man the ship. And even though I had a stroke the year before, or the couple months before, I was
he can take care of it.
Yeah, so I could talk about all the different shows we did, but we did a whole bunch of different shows. But to start off the year, we were actually called Exotic Pet Adventures, and we didn't change until the first show, or this third show in March 16th. We started calling it the Reptile Show Reporter. So that's when we made the change. That's the last thing that's been new and hasn't gotten through the whole year. So we'll have to celebrate on March. I think it's going to be the 18th or something like that. We'll have to celebrate that day that we've been a year as the Reptile Show Reporter. But anyways, those are the big milestones that we have. Let me go ahead and I'll get what do you remember, Bill?
As far as what? As far as what went on in 2023?
Yeah.
You're just going to hand the conch over to me? Because, oh my goodness.
A second while I go ahead and get back in on my YouTube here from a different station.
Yeah, it is. This has been an amazing year of growth. I mean, and this will be a preview for everybody who wants to come on come on Saturday. But yeah. Started off with Madagascar and live streaming from Madagascar. That was such a blast. And to be able to do that in certain areas. But as far as the Chameleon Academy, it's just been a huge year of growth. I mean, I've launched a digital magazine for Chameleon Academy, and started on this campaign to get people involved in 3D printing. So, and I launched the Chameleon Academy line of arboreal enclosures. Mm-hmm. So it's I've been busy, and the thing is, 2024 is going to be even better. There's so much going on. I'm excited, and everybody just stick around, because 2024 there's so much I got to get done, and you're all coming with me while I'm doing it.
All right, so I forgot the chat again. No one told me.
The chat.
Two people wanted to talk about the chat, but usually it's Tom telling me to check him out in the chat. But so Chris from Jeff Green Reptile was the first one here, except for Bill was actually before me even. Liza Ann, okay, let's go. We got to do the pictures again. I think we'll stop doing it this year, but we'll go ahead and do Chris. Here he is. All right. And we'll go ahead and do Liza Ann with Bill as well. I guess it's his birthday week, so we'll have to do that anyway.
It's a good picture.
That's a great picture.
And what do we got going on also?
It must have been like 60 degrees. Bill's wearing a sweatshirt.
Actually, I was extra warm, and the reason why I had that, because we were having to. I have a shirt underneath that was from the game that we played, but for all the photos and for all the people, we needed to have our shirts from our outreach. And I'm Chameleon Academy. The only thing I had was my hoodie, and I was very warm, because you walk in there with all those people.
Yeah,
it was pretty warm.
All right, so back to the chat again. Let's see. Chris is saying that his show is a go. So
this is awesome.
Show. So after a long battle, the new ordinance came into play, and he doesn't need any type of approval. So his show is going to happen. Chris, tell us when that's going to be. I think it's going to be February.
He says the 17th, but doesn't necessarily say which month.
Yeah, I think it's February. Liza Ann wishes you a happy birthday, Bill.
Thank you.
Thank you. Stephanie Payne. Guess what, Stephanie? You put a picture of yourself on the internet, and I sold it. So there you are. How about that?
Yay!
Yeah, there you are with the chameleon on your head and everything. So all dressed up for the season. So that'll be you until you give me a replacement. So all right, let's see what else we got here today. This is chat. Go to the chat. Let's see. Happy birthday, Bill. Liza Ann. CNC Tortoise has what I have to say. Happy birthday to Bill. Oh, there we go. Southeast Michigan Rep Show the 17th. So I think it's February 17th. Yeah,
he put February up there.
Yeah. All right. Let's see. James Cross is here. James is on Facebook this time instead of being on his. Oh, there we go. The James Cross vlog review.
I prepared.
Right. I'll put his picture up too, because he's famous, because he was the last podcast I've put on the internet. So until the second week of February, I won't have or January, I won't have a new podcast out. So you're still famous, James. And I've got a lot of comments on your podcast, so that's good.
Oh, what are things that people saying?
Just that James is cool. It's great to have him as part of the family of chameleon people, and all that kind of good stuff. That his foggers are awesome, and that his cages are cool, and all kinds of good stuff. And let's see what else we got here. All right, so let's see. February 17th. You're right. Yeah, okay. All right, there's the fog. Okay. We just have to say that James said there's the fog. All right. Okay, so we're done with the chat for now. So except for I just didn't get rid of the one. So all right, let's see. Hide. Wait a minute, James. Can you now post again? I might have accidentally had to do the hide list. What is that? What is that thing that you do that makes them
block him?
I don't know. I didn't do it on purpose. Whatever I did. Oh man. All right. Okay. So with me, Tom, why don't you go next? What happened in 2023 for you?
Yeah, 2023, I created my own live show, right? And just got that going, and it's going pretty well. I've got about 20 people that
Yeah.
regularly hang out, so that's
Yeah.
been great.
Mhm.
Got
That's a
the
good number.
got the chameleon. It's just been really fun, the chameleon, it's all in the setup, right?
Mhm.
Once you get it dialed in, oh my gosh, it's actually pretty simple. So
Mhm.
I could see why people have all these walls of
Mhm.
chameleons, as long as you've got the environmental parameters all going. So yeah, really just enjoying that. Uh, had a pretty good year with my hingebacks. Bred a pair that I hadn't had much success with. Really concentrated on those. Building up the YouTube channel, I came about 300 subscribers short of my goal for this year, which was 5,000. But I'm up to 4,700. So
What did you start the year with?
I was probably around the 1,500 mark, maybe.
Oh, that is a good growth.
Yeah.
Wow, I'm impressed.
So just been dedicated, and I've been growing through shorts. That's the shorts, and then the live is getting me the watch time. So just slowly growing that watch time to get to monetization. Not there yet, but we'll see where I get to in the next year.
Wait a minute, you're not. Oh, yeah. Okay, so you need 4,000 watch
hours. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, if you're doing shorts, that's a real tough. But
well, I do. So the lives are where I get my watch time, and that really adds up. And just going to try to grow that live show. And we started with a handful of people. Now we've got 20 or 30. Maybe we can get 100 or 200 by the end of next year.
Wow, that's great. It's a good goal.
A lot of people love turtles.
We'll have to see what happens. We'll have to call you on it next year when we do this again.
Yeah.
We'll have you back next year to do this. So for me, are you done?
Yeah.
All right. For me, we changed the name to Reptile Show Reporter. We got a brand new logo. We got two logos, actually. One for the people who do the podcast with me, and one for the regular everybody else. So we've got and I probably, Tom, and both Bill and Tom, I got to get you the new cups. I just ordered them again because they came in the wrong style. I got them in the same logo, but I'll have to get to the new cups. But that's really cool. And then I started a podcast. I did 13 podcasts this year, following in Bill's footsteps. I guess a little bit behind, like 9 or 10 years. So, but I started off with just me talking to myself on the thing, and figured out I need to have a guest. And got 13 guests in the second half of the year. So, all right. Okay. I switched because I blocked him. How do I unblock him? Oh
That's
man.
funny.
It's not funny at all. All right. And Steph sent me a couple of pictures. So, okay. All right. I'll look for them when we're off the show. But so I started my own podcast, got 13 people to agree to be on it. So that was good. We had a lot of somewhat bigger guests here. We had even Dylan from Animals at Home Network was on here, and I was on his podcast.
Pulling in the stars.
Yes. And let's see what else. So I went to a whole bunch of shows for the first time. So starting in order of the location, I went to the Columbus show for the first time again, where I was at it 25 years ago or something like that. I was not in the same location. And then I went the next day to the Cincinnati show the first time. And I haven't been back to that, but I'd love to, but I keep ending up on different things. And then we went out to the Pittsburgh show, the mega show out in I want to say Pomona. That's where Bill went. The Pittsburgh mega show. And that was my first hot show. So the first time I actually saw the venomous snakes in person and what have you. And let's see. So that was a really cool show. It was the first 2-day show. And the first show I actually got to do the VIP passes, where you get to go in early and what have you. And that was neat. And let's see, the next first show, was it Tinley? I think Tinley was the next new show. So I went to Tinley and did the 2 days at Tinley, and it was awesome and incredible and great to go to. And then what else did I do? I did Northeast Ohio, which I think I did before Tinley and other things. The Northeast Ohio show. I went to a bunch of shows in the Toledo area. So I went to the show at I think it wasn't new this year, but I went to the show in where is that at? It's not Finley, Fremont show couple times this year. I also went to the Toledo show, the Glass City show. We had those people on from a bunch of those shows. And where else in Ohio did I go? I think almost all the Ohio shows. And then I ended up going all the way to Michigan, even though it was the wrong time of year to be in Michigan when they beat us in football. I've been twice to the Michigan show. And then I went to the Reptarium, which is a shirt I was going to wear today, but instead I wore the What's Your Favorite Dinosaur shirt by Clint's Reptiles, which is where I went also. I went to Clint's Reptiles. That reminds me. And had a good time there. Had a private show there with just me and my wife and my fourth kid just hanging out there. And so really good times. Did a lot of stuff with the my reptiles, but just stuff that I'm not talking about yet. But got a bunch of breeders that I might be able to breed this year. We'll see what happens, and we'll be announcing at that point. And I don't know. I think that's all that happened this year. That's a lot. But let's see. All right. So let's see here. I guess from fame has its consequences. I know, not at all. I don't know what I did wrong, but I'm going to have to figure this out. I'm sorry that I did that to you, James. Does anyone, Tom, Bill, do you know what I did to do that? Or
well, when you go in, there are some settings, and so you can make decisions as to what to do with this comment. You can bring it up on screen, or you can block the commenter, and it's like, okay, if you just do slip a little bit, boom.
I've never done that with all the times and all the issues with my right hand being the stroked hand and my non-dominant hand. I've never had a problem, and I did it this time. So I'm sorry, James. It's just craziness. So, all right. So what are your plans for next year, Bill?
Okay. Well, certainly my push is to explore small batch breeding with chameleons, and more than a buzzword. And this will explain to everybody. So if you're here, you're going to hear it a couple of times because I'm going to tell all of my people. But I think this is where we as a community need to go. I know that this is where I, as a keeper, need to go. I've looked at with my personal keeping. I have 2 shifts of I care for these chameleons this day, these chameleons the next day, and I realize that I'm working more than I'm enjoying. And so I'm going to get, my goal for 2024 is to get myself down to a single shift. And my only breeding that I do is in the model of the small batch breeding. And that's going to be a huge, it's easy to say it, but that's, when you go through the list of, okay, so which ones can I send to another home? And then you get to the end of the list and there's nothing on the list. It's, okay, wait a minute, this isn't working. So it's an exercise in self-discipline, making difficult decisions. And that's what's going to take for me to enjoy what I am doing so much more. I mean, this back here, I love this. I love this and I love doing this. And so I want every chameleon that I have to be able to be in some, maybe not this huge, this thing here, but something similar in those conditions. So that's, and so there's a small batch breeding. Really want to explore bioactive, and that's a personal growth thing. I'm bringing everybody with me. I'm going to be bringing on experts, people who know, and I'm going to be asking them. So by the end of the year, I'm going to know a lot of the answers that I don't know right now. And I want to continue working with the Chameleon Academy Journal, the digital magazine, and use that as a vehicle for 3D printing, bringing more awareness of that and more free stuff for people to print out. So there's a lot of community building building things that I want to work on. And yeah, there's going to be a lot going on. And I, like I say, I am just so excited for everything, and huge. When we're here a year from now, I'm just going to say, oh my goodness. All right. I'm taking 2025 off. So, but the most in thing I am going to, in 2024, I want to get a pet tardigrade. I am set on getting a pet tardigrade.
What are you going to keep it in, Bill?
I got lots of cages around here.
Yeah. Okay. I understand how small those are, but okay. All right. We had a backdoor talking in the Chameleon Enthusiast back room about tardigrades, and I had to look it up to figure out what the heck it was. It's a little tiny little microscopic thing, and
but they're so cool.
They're cool looking. They look like the Michelin Tire Man, but with hands and a face. Not a face, but like a little.
All right, everybody, mark my words. In 2024, I intend to be able to post pictures of my tardigrade.
Okay. All right.
That's my goal.
All right. Tom, how about you?
Yeah, so really, my animal collection is pretty set. So I don't anticipate acquiring many animals. It will just be, keeping those animals the best I possibly can, upgrading their enclosures, building some outdoor enclosures, experimenting with a little bit more outdoor keeping of the hingebacks that I have. We're very hesitant to keep the wild caught stuff outside, especially because some of it is so rare. It's just really risky. But now that we've bred enough babies and they've grown up to some size, yeah, I might like to try them outside to see how they do in a very warm Ohio in the summer. I think they'll do pretty well. Yeah, just kind of continue to explore the turtle community and really figure out what the turtle community needs. What is missing, and so right now, so many people buy a pet turtle, especially aquatic turtle, but then end up dumping it very quickly. Uh, there's this whole thing right now. Pretty much every pet store that I go to that's a mom and pop shop has a little baby turtle tank. And we know that's not allowed, but it's happening. And so you have all of these people going to those little stores, getting just, goo goo gaga over these little baby turtles, taking them home. And, some of them get this big and they end up dumping them in a river or a lake. And so how can I kind of impact that world? How can we get better care information into the hands of people before they buy a little baby turtle, before it grows up to be huge? So those are some of the things that I will be looking to do and really just kind of grow the YouTube channel.
Okay. Well, I'm interested in what do you want to do with the podcast? Where do you want to go with that?
Well, the live, I started out with expert series. So each podcast, each like live YouTube, what I would do is have someone that had a lot of specific knowledge in a specific turtle species. But that's pretty hard to sustain that for 52 weeks. So I think half Q&A. I really like these lives where they solicit questions all week about turtle and tortoise care, and then they answer them in one giant live. And there's so many frequently asked questions, but usually they come down to just a person's situation. And I think we could better answer those kind of questions and truly help the person. Me and my co-host Matthew live, and maybe even ask them some clarifying questions. So that's where I think we could grow. Right now, we're getting this very solid group of hardcore turtle and tortoise people, 20 to 30 people. But if we want to grow, we need to reach more people. And I think we can reach more people if we really just tackle some of these basic questions that people have. And
Okay.
in the turtle world, there's a lot of ways you can successfully raise a turtle or a tortoise, and I think that is going to be my guiding factor. If you understand what a turtle needs, depending upon where you live and what kind of turtle or tortoise you work with, you can do it differently. It's just understanding the tools that you have, your weather, whether or not you want to house the turtle indoors or outdoors. There aren't these hard and fast rules. And I think that's the message I want to spread, and kind of help people where they are, meet them where they are to provide that best advice.
Okay. That sounds
All
good.
right. So for me, 2024, I would like to come up with 24 more podcasts. So that's 2 months on the second and fourth, by the second or fourth Wednesday, but I usually release it on the Tuesdays. I would like to get back to Clint's Reptile Room after it's been remodeled. I'm going to go out to Vegas in April, or I think it's March or April. So I'll be doing that on my way back. I definitely like to get back to Tinley. I can only go once because my daughter's wedding is in October. So I'm going to be, unless I want to go from her wedding on Saturday to Tinley on Sunday, and her wedding's in Eastern Ohio, it'll probably be a little bit of a challenge. But you never know. Sometimes you can just be aggressive about that stuff. I'd like to get to a bunch of new shows. I'd like to get moved to a new place. I'd like to keep my stuff at home a lot to be no growth. Like we used to do with our kids, one toy in, one toy out. You have to make that kind of thing when they got toys so much. And so one stuffed animal in, one stuffed animal out. It used to be two, but I'm not going to do two out. And just kind of go that way. If something passes or something, then I can replace it or do whatever. If some of my stuff is irreplaceable because it's like quadricornuses, you can't get them anymore, or stuff like that. But kind of keep that low key. What else would I like to do? Keep doing this live show every week. I'll figure out how to do this for a whole nother week and do it for every week for a year and without stop. And which is what we did last year, because it was the year before that we had to stop because of the stroke. Try not to have one of those. So I'm taking good care of myself for that, eating well and exercising and what have you, and reducing the stress. But what else? I think that's a lot of stuff to actually be able to do that and to have just a calm kind of year. So I think that's what I want to go for. I guess. I want to get down to Animal Con this year.
Oh yeah, that would be awesome.
But this year, Bill, you know what I missed it for, because I got something that I'm going to be announcing at some point along the way, and I couldn't be there because I had other plans. So I hopefully won't have those other plans the same weekend as Animal Con, and we'll go the same way. I mean, I'd like to do that other plan again, to have more of them. But at some point, I'm going to announce those chameleons and what I'm doing. But I got some chameleons in, and they're fairly rare. And so I'm going to be working with them and see what I can do. And I've had some good success so far. Yes. A little rare. Not one of the top three, like 4 or 5, But even Tom knows what we're talking about. I'm sorry, audience. I'm not going to talk about it yet until we get further. Animal Con, yes, that's a good thing to be
Yes,
at.
we all need to meet at Animal Con.
Yes, absolutely. Oh, we should meet at Tinley in March or April, but then at Animal Con. But
well, you know what? If you all want to have a Chameleon Academy get together, we could do that in Dayton, Ohio in March.
Yes, that would be good. Dayton, Ohio. We'll be there. You've already announced your cage place. That's where the cages are built. So that we're able to talk about that now. So we can get out there and be there. Tom's gonna go. Nope, not going to talk about it. Just have to wait for a little while longer. Once I successfully breed it, we'll be talking about it at that point. But I haven't got that far. But they're not old enough, so they're still less than a year. So we'll worry about that and as time goes on. Let's see, Animal Con. We're going to be at Dayton, Ohio, which is a couple hours from Two Turtle Tom and myself, and actually Steve Hefner is also in this area. He's from the Chameleon Enthusiast. He's going to probably be there at some point as soon as we figure out when that's going to be. Let's see. Is John here? No. Oh no, yeah, John.
Yeah, Alice is here.
Yeah, and John said it's small. He's starting to. He knows too. Quit spilling the beans, everybody.
Big personality.
Yes, exactly. So, and yes, John, we also love your podcast. It's been really cool and interesting to listen to. So keep it up. Yes, because I was expecting him to help out, but he has too many things. So that's how that happened. But anyways, it'll be coming sometimes. All right, Chris will be there too in Ohio. So it's going to be a Reptile Show reporter show.
Wait. Chris Green, you're going to be there in you're going to be there in Dayton?
That's what he says. I don't know.
That's awesome. Okay, yeah. You told me that. I knew there was somebody else.
Yeah.
Oh, excellent. Oh, we're planning, Chris, I'm planning some really cool stuff, and Paul is letting me do it. So I'm excited about this.
Awesome. In March, right, Bill? It's only a couple months away.
March. Yeah, I know. I've got what?
When they make a decision on what time frame it's going to be, I guess they probably need to get the store done or something.
So when is Tinley in March? Is Tinley in March or April?
Tinley is in April, I believe.
Okay, hopefully.
Yeah. So I know Tinley's, I think, in April. I don't know. I got it on my calendar, but yeah. Hey, you two keep talking. I'm going to find Tinley.
So,
okay.
You made these quick trips down that way, and Sean, he did give me a heads up that you were in Ohio, but I had no inkling why. And I there's two things in Dayton that involve reptiles. One, I've been following Paul's work for a while since he started, 2016, I think he said?
Yeah, 2016.
And then, but the other thing that's in Dayton is this gigantic operation involving reptiles. Yep. And I'm like, well, I don't think Bill is going there for that.
No.
So I
tried to get a tour of the facility, though.
Yeah, it left one other option. But it sounded like Paul went to Dayton to work for that giant operation.
Yes.
And then stuck around, which is just kind of a fascinating story.
Yes, it is. It's a very cool story. And as far as Liza Ann saying, can you give us hints, Bill? This is in the process of being put together. And so you're hearing about it in real time. I mean, I threw out a bunch of ideas to Paul last night before falling asleep. And it was like 10 o'clock for me and 1 o'clock for him. And I woke up this morning and he said, these sound great. So honestly, Liza Ann, it's just starting. It's coalescing as we speak. But I would love to put together have some live webinars throughout the day, because there's going to be a number of people there. Hopefully, I mean, I guess I shouldn't be saying names because I don't know who's going to be there. Obviously, nobody can commit until there's a date. Yeah. But there's going to be some people there, and if I can get them to agree to come on the live with me, then perhaps I'm going to be doing my live because Chameleons and Coffee, but we could make it a little bit of bigger party if other people wanted to join in. So
Bill, Tinley is the Ides of March 15th.
All right.
So you can't do it that weekend because everybody that you talked about before we got on the show is going to be at Tinley.
You know what? I believe Paul will probably take that into account when he figures out the date.
For goodness sake, let's hope.
Yeah. No Tinley.
I've got at least one hotel room for Tinley this year. So in March, I'm going to be there. I can't be there. I can't be your backup person.
Yeah.
Of course, at Tinley, the first time I was at Tinley, the first day I was ever there, you had me on the show.
Yes, I did.
Yeah, that was funny.
But Eliza Ann, all I can say is everything that I've got bouncing around in my head, I've already reserved Sean to be my backup because I'll probably need a backup admin for everything going on. And this one won't be like a secret thing. As soon as I have confirmation I can do this kind of stuff, I'll be letting you know. And I'll be talking to you all about it. And this is going to be an exciting thing because it's like ending up being a Chameleon Academy meetup. So there's going to be Chameleon Academy meetup, and then if I can get like people to come on, then there's a lot of fun things that could happen. But like I said, all in the idea stage right now.
Yeah, I need dates, Bill. I need to get time off.
I know everybody needs dates, and I need dates.
We'll figure it out. And so Paul is opening a retail store.
Yeah, so he's already got a small retail store. And for everybody who's wondering, we're talking about Paul Barclay of Custom Reptile Habitats. He makes these very high-end enclosures, and he's got a retail store there that has a real cool, like 8-foot boa. Ball python.
Okay.
I think it's a ball python. One of those non-chameleon things, and it's a huge
legless,
legless.
and so he's got like Arcadia products and BioDude products there, but he really wants to expand that, and so that's his project. And so he's going to have a grand opening, and you may not, if you haven't been in the industry, you may not know exactly who he's been working with. But yeah, he's been working in the industry for a long time and has worked with a number of well-known people. And so this is going to this is gearing up to be quite the party.
Yeah, because Ohio's the heart of it all, Bill. That's
Woo!
what we say.
Again!
Go Ohio. So
apparently,
yes, it's the center of the world.
Yes.
The whole world revolves around Ohio. We know it.
I didn't realize that, but I'm starting to learn that.
So Sean,
Yes.
if are we the right aorta and Dayton is the left ventricle or something like that? If Ohio's the heart of it,
Something like that. Yes, exactly. I guess we're I don't know. I think we need to be the left ventricle. I don't know what. Maybe it's upside down.
right atrium. Oh, that's
Maybe
funny.
it's upside down. Not north is maybe the bottom of the heart. So that we can figure that out. I don't know.
I think it's just great that we have this option. We can jet down there, buy one of Bill's cages, see Bill. We do have our buddy Seth Hurst that makes Sean and I cages, but he doesn't do anything vertical.
Not like that. No, he makes snake-like cages. So
Yeah,
that's good.
and so I'm really excited to get one and put my little baby chameleon in a giant playground and
put your little gal, I guess. Yes.
yes, little gal. I named her
Nelly.
C.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't wait to see these and the little book nook that's incorporated. I forget exactly what you call it, but that was great.
It's right behind him. It's a book nook right there. I guess.
Yeah.
That's
And
an
there's
accessory,
my
right?
fruit flies. There's my brevicorn eggs. Here's my books.
Yeah. So that's like an add-on.
Yeah, these are, so you've got the enclosure here, you got the stand that it sits on, and then each one of these utility shelves, you can get as many as you want. I mean, well, 4 will fit, but you get them separately. And so you just add on whatever you want to.
Cool. And Dayton's a great place. I don't know if you got time to explore it much when you were there.
I got some hot wings.
Oh, yeah.
And there's a real cool coffee place there. Oh my
Okay.
goodness, it is high end. I love it.
It's close to Cincinnati as well, Bill. So right Air Force, right Patterson Air Force Base is in Dayton, but Cincinnati's got an incredible zoo. Especially what it does. It rivals the San Diego Zoo. I guess it's probably like a little bit below, but it's in that ballpark. It's doing that same kind of stuff with them. So it's an incredible zoo there. I know, and you can only what you can see, and what you can see is not all that they're doing there. So, but that's there's all kinds of great stuff down there.
When I was in graduate school at Miami University, which is in Ohio, I took herpetology class, and so we went to the Cincinnati Zoo and got the behind the scenes tour.
Wow!
And at the time, they had several of the Japanese giant salamanders.
Oh, nice!
And you just like look into a fiberglass tub and see a salamander whose head was that wide, and you know, its body was that long. It was just pretty incredible. And the reptile house there, I think, dates from the 1870s. It's the oldest zoo building still around. So it's a great place. But yeah, Dayton's awesome. There's a river called the Mad River, and there's lots of fascinating native reptiles all up and down that river. Some rare stuff, and these special habitats called fens. And yeah, it's a really, really cool place.
So really, Bill, you're going to have to come out for 2 weeks to get the whole Ohio experience.
Yeah.
I am suspecting that I will have to come out.
We're talking about Southern Ohio. We're not even in the best part of Ohio.
But
so
in March?
It depends.
It could be 80 degrees.
It could be 80 inches of snow.
Yep. It could be either or.
Because that's exciting. You can bring both, your snowshoes and your swim trunks, and it all depends on what the weather's like.
All right.
Yeah. The coolest thing about Dayton, and if anybody in the country wants to come to this, go to the U.S. Air Force National Museum. It's on Wright-Patterson Air Force Base. Mm-hmm. It is the best museum I've ever been to, ever. I mean, they have every plane in there that's ever flown in the U.S. Air Force, including a B-29. They have rockets from the space program. I mean,
they have an SR-71.
Of course, absolutely.
P-38.
The Lightning.
Yeah.
If it was an Air Force plane, what they don't have is the Navy planes.
Oh, it should have. That was an Air Force plane, I believe.
Yeah,
I don't know. In World War II, do they separate Air Force and Army? I don't know.
Yeah. Well, the Navy planes is what they don't have.
Okay.
They have a Valkyrie, which
really?
Yes.
B-70 is like 2 of those in existence. I don't know.
Yeah, they have one.
Wow.
So, yeah, they have a command module of the space shuttle there. One of the trainers.
All right. How far is that from Dayton?
It's in Dayton. I mean, it's right there.
It's right Air Force Base. It's just really close.
And that's where, right across the street, is where the Wright brothers flew their airplane.
Oh, that is so cool.
Came back.
All right.
It's a National Historic Site.
I may have to do some sightseeing.
I mean, it's incredible. The Air Force Museum is amazing.
All right, fine. Well, you need to take some days off so you can go with me, be a tour guide.
We would love to.
We'll be there. I'll be there. Jen and I can be there. We'll bring Abby, the whole thing. Buddha will come. We'll call it a, what do you call it? What did you call your stuff when you do other reptiles? What kind of, what with the outer fringes or whatever?
The outer fringes, yes.
Outer fringes of the reptile show. We'll do it right after Air Force Base or at the museum. We won't do it at the base because that's probably very, very secure. So,
Jonathan loves the Air and Space Museum here in DC, so would definitely like to check that one out too. All right, well,
all right, Jonathan. Then you need to be there March something or other. We don't know, not March 16th and 17th because we're all going to be in Tinley.
Somewhere else
in March. So
that's awesome. The other thing they have there is they have the presidential plane collection. So literally, you can go in the Boeing 707 that was Air Force One that carried Kennedy's body back to Washington. I mean, you can stand right like inches from where his casket was. Absolutely incredible. And other Air Force Ones, Eisenhower rode on, and I think they went back to Oh, the Constellation is their earliest one they have. That was
Oh,
a
wow.
the actual presidential airplane.
All right.
They
Well,
have-
if I was president, I'd have an A10.
Yeah, yeah.
So all these new people are tuning in, Bill and Tom.
They have no idea what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
We're talking about Wright Air Force. The right next to it is the
Yeah, come to Dayton.
Air Museum or the Air Force Museum. But yeah, and yes, this is the Reptile Show reporter. And I don't know, maybe there'll be some reptiles down there in Dayton. We're gonna go down to Dayton. We're all gonna show up as a Chameleon Academy get together for Bill's buddy down there launching his cages and all the other stuff. And there might be a whole bunch of other different things. So Bill isn't at liberty to say because it's not been confirmed, but that's exactly what we're going to do. All right.
Oh, boy.
So
This'll
we're
be fun.
inviting John. Chris is going to be there. Tom and I are going to be there. Steve Hefner from the Chameleon Enthusiast is going to be there. Bill, you're going to have your own entourage here.
Heck yeah.
This is awesome. Oh, boy.
All right. So now that we've got that off, all right.
We've gone through there.
Dayton is awesome. Come to
All
Bill's
right.
grand
Anything
opening.
else we're going to plan for 2024 other than a quiet, peaceful year?
It's not going to be quiet or peaceful for me. So,
Well, we're going to double down on a lot of our good stuff, but not try not to do anything new. Although Bill always keeps coming up with new stuff. You should hear what he keeps telling me about all the time. But
boy.
all the opportunities I have to pass.
Yeah, well, you want to go real crazy? I can get you Namaquensis.
Oh, good Lord.
Really?
Yes.
From Europe?
Yep.
Wow.
Yep. In fact, I'm going to be releasing a video from the breeder this week. I should get that done tomorrow.
Cool. The
Wow.
Desert Chameleon.
Yeah.
That'll
Yeah.
be cool
Wow.
to see.
So those are going to be bred. Those are being bred. And so they will become available. They're super expensive, but as more and more people work with it, apparently they're a very easy species to work with. And they are a tough as nails species. So it's one of those things where we don't have enough bloodline diversity to really have a strong breeding colony in captivity, but there's enough that people can enjoy experiencing Namaquensis. So
Cool.
that it will spread from Europe. And yes, we can get a hold of it right now, but it's incredibly expensive. It'll be easier in a couple of years.
Sounds cool.
Yeah, that's what all the things that are in Europe really seems like there's some of them there and they're willing to share, but there's not a lot of good possibility of long-term breeding for that kind of stuff. But we'll see. Maybe one of these countries will open at some point and we'll be able to get a few more and what have you. But that's positives and negatives. So, all right. Anything else for tonight, guys?
I don't know.
John is saying desert species tend to be main thing.
Probably bulletproof. Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
I during the Christmas holidays, you tend to visit your parents, right? And my parents still live in the house I grew up in, so there's this little stash of Tom's stuff from the 90s, and my giant hot rock that I had for my iguana is still in my parents' basement. So maybe Namaquensis would like a nice hot rock.
I give them heat from above. That's what they want.
Yes, not from below. And James, I'm not going to tell. I'll probably tell you quietly behind the scenes. So just wait for that.
Oh
All
boy,
right.
you are just getting yourself in so much trouble right now, Sean.
I know, but it's okay. That's okay. It's good to be secretive a little bit, just to have something to keep everybody on the hook
You're
for.
being openly secretive.
That's the best way. All right. It'll get out, I know, but
That's right.
yeah, Shaughnessy
right.
are going to be the next big species, but then after that will be something else. But we'll see. All right. Okay. All right, guys, I'm going to cut this off. It's between the two holidays. I hope everyone had a great Christmas. We didn't even talk about it. I got my tree behind me and everything, which we talked about a lot last year, but we put that up late, but it's there. We got it up. When the kids start leaving the house, things don't go quite as quickly as they used to. But we only had 3 of them, and they complained because Christmas Day, 2 of them were gone, and we had 2 puppies in the picture and replacing them. So we had 5 of our children there, but 2 of them were. And my oldest daughter said, "Wait a minute, you replaced us with 2 puppies?" I'm like, "They're a lot easier." All right. All right. So a good New Year to everyone. Have a happy 2024. We hope to see you then. We'll see you every Wednesday. We're going to see you Tuesday for Bill, Wednesday for me and Bill, and Thursday for Tom. It's like a whole week worth of stuff. You can take Monday and Friday off and the rest of the weekend, but you got to have this the threesome thing going on. So have a good night, everyone. Thanks for showing.